What's up, Banana Bunch? You know what time it is. It's time for another episode of the Jungle Gyms podcast. I'm your host, Mark. Welcome to the show. Okay, listen, I'm going to get through the intro quickly. You know the drill here. I want you to download the Jungle Gyms app. You can get app-exclusive savings on there. We've just done a huge update to it, so you can see where you are in the store, all kinds of fun stuff like that. You can watch the 5 most recent episodes of the podcast. And the real reason here is that we'll be announcing all kinds of show events, things of that nature. Now, by the time you watch this episode, I've been pushing this event for weeks on the podcast. So you had a chance to come to it. Hopefully you joined us, and we'll find out. If I get some great feedback, I'll put it right in this section here. But today is about making history, and I think we're going to make history with today's guest. Or maybe we'll make sandwiches.
Yeah.
Barry of Sandwiches of History, welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm just going to download that app.
Oh, please do that.
Yeah, because I was told that was the thing everyone should do.
This is my brand endorsement I'm already looking for. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
Barry, thank you, sir. First off, thank you so much. I'm
Absolutely.
so excited to have you here.
I am so stoked to be at Jungle Gyms. I can't even tell you. I learned about this place, I don't know, probably like 5 years ago. And I thought, I don't know how, but I got to get there. And I'm here. And it's like, it's too much and not enough, and I need more time, and it's so amazing.
Well, that's what we planned for you to move in for a week with us.
Yeah, I'm going to do a residency here.
Yeah. I was just pleased you got got along so well with my dog,
Yeah.
Morrison. He's a tough first date.
Yeah.
So am I, actually, to be honest with you. When I saw that you were doing a tour, I was so excited, and so when I first reached out, I was just like, maybe he'll do my podcast. Maybe we can make a sandwich together.
Oh, let's do it all.
Yeah.
Let's do the podcast. Let's do a show here.
I might have to have you give me a little video clip I could stick at the end. You can give me a short review of your experience. It's the show that is actually tomorrow.
Okay.
The timeline's always, I love this about the future. It reminds me of a Mr. Show sketch when they're doing a pre-taped call-in show. He's like, no, call in about dogs. This episode you're watching right now. Anyway.
Yeah.
I
love that.
I'm thinking about that too, where I'm just like, oh my gosh. So, Barry, explain it like I'm 5.
Okay.
I'm going to pretend like the audience has no idea who you are, but how would you, who are you?
Probably accurate. Most people don't know who I am, which is fine. I get it. But with Sandwiches History, what I do is I make sandwiches from old recipes from cookbooks, exactly as written, and then plus them up for the modern palate if they have potential. And the reason I do that is because I found a lot of these old recipes, probably 10% are really awful and they go in the trash bin.
Right.
10% are actually quite good as is.
Yeah.
Most fall in this middle area where it's like, it's not really great, but if you just add a couple of things to it, it could be actually really good. And that's where the Plus Up was born. But it's also been fascinating to kind of explore what people thought were good sandwiches throughout the ages.
I think that's what drew me to your page at first, because I forget how I stumbled upon you. I've had a few friends that for a while, once I got here, were like, you got to follow this guy. And I was like, and they're like, you should totally have him on the show. I'm like, I don't know if that was how the world works. I'm constantly DMing everybody I love just to be like, hello, I love you. Please come hang out with me. I'll buy lunch.
My man, that is the way it works. That's how I got H. John Benjamin to be a guest in Brooklyn. I got Patrick Carney of the Black Keys in Nashville. I just reached out and said, hey, they follow Sandwiches of History. Would you be up for doing this? And they're like, I'm in.
Yeah.
It was amazing and mind-blowing at the same time.
That's so cool. H. John Benjamin was just here for a film festival in town. And I don't know what it is, but I keep running into celebrities either on the way to or from the restroom. And so that was a fun one too, where I was just like,
hey.
Well, and then I'm sitting there, like I was caught off guard and I'm like, oh, hey, I kind of hit him with that voice. And I'm like, did I just do his voice to him?
Yeah.
And unintentionally, but I've been cringing about it since last fall.
I wouldn't worry about it. He's super chill.
Yeah, he seemed really friendly
too. He's a very generous and good guy. So no, I wouldn't worry about it.
Well, I know I keep joking about this with you too, where I'm like, you've had all these real celebrities on the show. And then I'm just going to eat, well, I don't want to tell them what we're eating, but I'm going to eat fun things. Well, I guess at this point, maybe it would be common knowledge. But anyway, when you sent me that, I was like, oh, I hope Barry didn't go easy on me.
No. You get the same treatment, my friend.
I'm excited.
Absolutely, yeah.
I will say this, since I won't tell him what it was, but when I sent it, I was like, I'm actually legitimately excited to try that. I'm like, I think that'll be good.
Yeah, I put it in the cookbook for a reason. So, Sandwiches History, the cookbook.
Which is currently available here at Jungle Gyms.
That's right. Came out last November.
Yeah.
Was named one of NPR's books we love last year.
That's amazing. People are still reading. That's the thing I'm excited to hear about.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's just shocking, actually. But yeah, it's the cookbook's out. This the sandwich we'll be making tomorrow from it. And it's adapted from the original cookbook of 1001 Sandwiches of 1936.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So do you find any, we were talking about how like a lot of the sandwiches fall in that middle range there. And I'm assuming a lot of it has to be ingredient availability, refrigeration techniques at the time, that kind of stuff that's like, a little less common. Like, so are you finding any trends as far as things that you're like, ham always fixes a sandwich or say something like that?
Well,
you know?
I mean,
that is true.
Everybody constantly comments like, bro, the obvious plus up is bacon. It's like, yeah, this could be sandwiches of history plus bacon because bacon's going to plus up any sandwich. Right. I have to actually use restraint to not use bacon on every sandwich.
That's what makes the show interesting.
Yeah,
if you're putting bacon on everything, I mean, well, there's probably a channel out there.
Yeah, exactly. Put bacon on it and see how, I'm sure it's great. But no, I just, I try these sandwiches and I try to think about like what are some interesting ways to plus it up, like from a texture perspective or contrasting flavors or things like that to try to make it. It gives me a chance to kind of stretch my mind as far as, applying culinary ideas, and then other people hopefully get inspired by it as well.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. I'm inspired too.
Yeah. Oh, thanks.
But I mean, I genuinely too. Lucky and I make a lot of sandwiches in here, so we're always kind of thinking about it, especially. Yeah, well, once you agreed to doing this,
my God.
Can you imagine how many sandwiches we run out of?
I was going to say, like, the plus-up potentials here are ridiculous. Like, I can't even imagine trying to figure out what I want to plus things up with because everything's here.
Yeah.
Infinite choice is paralyzing.
What's funny, absolutely. I say that all the time. We're like, too many options is a prison.
Yes.
And like throw away the key.
Yeah.
We run into that a lot because we're always, we're at first, right, as we first started, and I've worked here now almost 4 years.
Yeah.
So over time, we're like, all right, what are we making for lunch today? And, you'd start out, you're like, well, we're taking some wild swings. We're going to the charcuterie deli. We're going to have them cut something fresh. We'll get some weird cheese. Yeah. And now it's kind of settled back into this routine where we're like, so the Hamon-Beurre is kind of a killer classic sandwich, and we have access to, I'm not having Swiss. I'm getting Emmentaler.
Oh, that's right. I mean? Exactly. Yeah. That's just it. You have access to such amazing ingredients here.
Yeah.
My mind is blown.
Yeah. Did I overwhelm you with the tour tonight?
Yeah. But I'm glad that I get to come back tomorrow and spend some time, and I've got time before we fly out on Monday. So
part of the residency.
Yeah, part of the residency. I will be spending money here.
Well, that's the other thing is that I want all of my guests to make sure that I continue to be gainfully employed. The rent thing is still true.
The management makes sure there's a conversion rate. Yeah, got it.
I just keep fudging the numbers realistically. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Mostly.
Yeah.
It's like look deeply into the camera, like please don't knock. That's the power of TikTok, ultimately, right?
Yeah.
How did you get into this? I know we've talked so much about music. I mean, you've been all over the place in your career before this, right?
Yeah, it's been a nonlinear path, as I like to call it.
That.
Yeah. So after getting kicked out of college for bad grades, I didn't know what I was.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah, and didn't know what I was going to do. Worked odd jobs. Eventually taught myself graphic design. Got a job in that realm. Went out on my own, and then applied for a job that I probably had no business applying for, but it was right during the .com bust, and everybody was leaving Silicon Valley, and I'm like, I'd like to go work for a .com company. And so I moved up to San Jose, and I started working for this little startup called Netflix.
Oh, small mom and pop up.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's ever heard of it,
No.
but it's anyway.
I think they mailed me something.
They did, yeah, lots of things.
I'm pretty sure I kept some of those things at the end of that program.
I was gonna say at this point it doesn't even matter because the whole shipping of DVDs is done. But I was there for 11 years, and I got to learn all about marketing, brand positioning, messaging, like just research, everything. And it was a blast. I call it the best business school I could have gone to, and I got paid to do it.
Amazing.
And then after that, I formed a partnership with the former brand manager of Netflix, and we apply the techniques that we learned at Netflix to our clients and their business needs. So, and it's non-linear. And how I got into sandwiches history.
Yeah.
I love food. I love cooking, and I'm always curious about everything.
I love that.
So, my first foray into social media and food was in the Chips with Barry, which I still do.
Yeah.
Reviewing potato chips and snacks from around the world. And that's fun. But I found this PDF on my computer, for the up-to-date sandwich book of 1909. And I just thought this would be kind of fun to do on social media. And so I did. But you'll learn more about this tomorrow at the show.
Ooh, perfect.
That's right. Got to leave a little mystery.
I love it. Yeah. I'll leak some clips in here in the final edit and be like, oh, that's what we did.
Yeah, exactly.
That's really fun. That sounds so cool. I'm glad that it was very infrequently do I meet other people that also got asked to leave their college of choice. I had a really good sophomore year, I think. A slight blur, but it was a good time.
So for fun, I actually went to San Diego State. I went there for 2.5 years, undeclared. The last semester I was there, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to be a graphic designer. And I went into the graphic design program and I got horrible grades. And that was compounding some already horrible grades. And they're like, we'd like you to leave. And you know it's bad when a university is just like, we don't want your money.
Exactly.
So
yeah, and I always thought after that, I remember getting the letter and thinking the same thing where they're like, listen, you need to at least, they were like, please leave at least for a semester and then maybe we'll consider taking you back.
Wow, that was nice.
It was like a weird relationship thing. Right? And the tone of the letter was a little that way too, where I was like, what kind of thing was going on at Indiana University that, but yeah, missed a lot of classes. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But everything worked out great. That's the trick. Not that you shouldn't go to school, kids.
No. But you should be, I think for me, if there's a takeaway.
Yeah.
Be infinitely curious. Just keep trying new things, keep learning, keep trying to grow, and keep trying to get better. And you'll find something.
Yeah,
you'll find something that you actually connected with. And I never expected to get into marketing because I always thought marketing was like,
right.
But then I worked with the folks at Netflix, and they were just professionals and great and smart about what they did. And I finally understood that marketing wasn't just selling stuff to people that didn't need it.
Right.
It was figuring out who would benefit from it and how to position it so that they go, oh yeah, I'd like to try that. And then the product has to be good enough to live up to that.
Of course, uncovering the need.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it reminds me of a lot of sales gigs I'd had over the years, honestly, a little bit where you're like, when you work for a better company.
Yes.
It was that. It was, you're learning about these customers, you're learning about these people. Yeah.
Right.
I really love that. That's a takeaway on the marketing side too.
Yeah.
And that's been fun for me to discover here because this is, being in entertainment, I get that part, but like learning I've never worked in a grocery store. I've just eaten in them. Right? And so this was a little different.
Shop in them, but okay.
Yeah, I like that. We refer to that at home as kid drugs. So it's like things like as a kid that gave you that same kind of high.
Yeah.
So which is like, opening the drink, eating the sushi in the store and then
I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't eat sushi in the store. Mark.
I know, I'm sorry. I promised I wouldn't leak one thing, and it was just the sandwich. Sorry, your sushi habits are out in the wild now.
Yeah, no, I can't eat sandwiches. That's one thing people say, like are you burn out on sandwiches? It's like, no. All right, can you recommend sandwich place, in San Jose? It's like, no. Because I don't eat a lot of sandwiches outside of Sandwiches of History because I eat a sandwich every day for lunch.
Of course.
And I still enjoy it. I still love doing it. But I need to balance out my diet.
Of course. I mean, it is, all sandwiches are customizable. That's kind of the beauty of it, right?
Oh my God, customizable. You can mash up cuisines, textures, flavors, contrast, complementary, and you can change out the bread. You can change out how the bread's treated, and it's portable. Come on. Like, there's so much possibility with a sandwich.
Well, and you hit on something earlier there where you talked about early on that you're like, it's about, I think it was in regards to the plus ups where you're like, it's not just a flavor thing. There's a textural approach. There's, look, as somebody who's made a lot of sandwiches and has a lot of passion for sandwich making, as silly as that is to say out loud now.
It is not silly. Take that back right now, Mr.
I retract my previous
Thank
statement.
Thank you. Sorry.
But no, but thinking about those kinds of things, right? Where you're like, all of these layers go into it that I think the casual sandwich enjoyer might not think about until they watch programs like yours.
There was an article recently that was really brought up a really good point, which a lot of people don't think about, is the factor of air in building a sandwich and having like, instead of just like, you can put meat, cheese, but then you get these slabs, which I'll admit those are fun to eat sometimes.
Sure.
But really, when you start to like fold the meat and you start to fold the cheese and you start to layer these things and you have pockets of air in there, then you start to get this really incredible mouthfeel and journey of flavor.
So beautifully said.
Man, I'm full of it. Okay.
I don't know. I mean, I'm taking a trip up that mountain. I have been pitching the rolled. Look, everyone in my life right now, I'm looking at you directly. Have I not been pitching the rolled meat thing for probably years to you now? But it is. It adds such a textural little note that is, if you don't know about it, you don't think about it. And then as soon as you do it, you're like, oh, this completely changes the sandwich. I also think, let me throw this out there for anyone that's trying to maybe watch their figure as I watch mine expand.
Yeah, mine too.
But I find that I use less product when I do a more texturally interesting sandwich, right? You're like, oh. And I'd wager that if I kept that mentality in all walks of life, if I had a third less of everything, I might be a third less too.
I mean, the big secret of sandwich is balance, right? That's the thing. It's like making sure that you're not over-indexing. But to counteract or to contradict what I just said about the air, a muffaletta, right? But it is just meat, cheese.
Well, you kind of fill the gap. You fill the gaps with
with the olive salad and the seeded sesame seed bread. But anyway,
I think we just made our own muffaletta mix here too.
Oh my god.
We did. We don't do a lot of internal products that we make ourselves. Every so often we get like some hot jarred, and so we have a lot of sandwich fixins, as it were. Now you can talk a bit of the Midwest.
That's pretty good. No,
I
I
removed
like
the G from fixings.
That's good. Well, I mean, honestly, it's kind of weird if you say we have sandwich fixings.
Yeah, that is true too. Good point.
That feels
All right.
weird. So
I'm back to the apostrophe.
Fixins is where it's at, baby. Yeah, you're keeping it real.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm. This is probably. What you can tell, this is one of those episodes where people will be like, "Oh, I could tell you were comfortable there." I'm like, "Well, I'm usually comfortable, but this is fun when someone else is also having a good time."
Well, I'm very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
No.
Well, it's because I keep hitting the door lock for the table. What you got to do? Like, you'll leave when I say you can, Barry.
Okay. Hour 23 of the podcast.
We're doing our live stream for
exactly.
charity right now. That's so funny. In doing this, because you've been doing this for a few years at least now, right?
Yeah, probably. Well, let's see.
Time has no meaning to me anymore.
Yeah, I know. Time is a vacuum, man.
Right, it is.
Time is a flat circle.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Let's do it.
True detective.
Let me turn on the black lights real fast too, right?
Yeah, I've been doing it for at least 5 years.
That's what I was going to say. I thought about 5. I just didn't want to age myself and the program.
That's okay. It is what it is, man.
You've obviously. All right, let me ask this.
No.
Is there a best? Is there a best sandwich that you've made, in your opinion?
A best?
Or your favorite?
I mean, it's a sandwich of recent history. It's from Turkey and the Wolf in New Orleans. Flavored Trippin' in New Orleans. That's a cookbook, and it's called the Tomato. And it has no business being as good as it is.
Okay.
It's basically 2 thick slices of bread that you butter and griddle on both sides, set aside.
Off to a good start.
Slather it in Duke's mayo. Or mayo of choice. Don't at me, bro. All right.
Dukes.
I know, but some people are a little.
Someone from Hellman's is watching this. They crossed your name off a list, and mine was already crossed off.
They already had an opportunity to sponsor this, so too late.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah.
By the way, that's one thing that's been interesting to me is like I have had maybe 2 brands reach out the entire time I've been doing this.
Really?
Yeah.
You have a ton of followers too.
I know.
It is weird how that works though, where like you're doing something cool still. So
well, thank you. Yeah.
Brands are just I think that brands sometimes are a little short-sighted.
I mean, I'm not doing the typical influencer thing of like, oh, here's what I do and cut.
That's going to burst sooner than later. That style of content. I can't imagine people actually enjoy watching that.
Like deep,
like emotionally.
Oh,
you know
yeah.
What I
There's
mean?
no connection.
Right. You're just like, oh, that looks fun. I'll go to that restaurant.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas I don't know. Maybe this is me just being like, I miss the old internet where it was about people.
The Food Network. Yeah.
Right,
90s Food Network. That's what I just heard the other day. But back to the tomato.
Sorry. Yes. As I struggle to make this a good clip for us for social.
I know. It's so good. I love it. So you've got your thick slices of Texas toast, whatever, buttered, griddled, slathered in Duke's mayo. Then you put down sunflower seeds, salted roasted sunflower seeds, 6 slices of tomato, preferably summer, season them, way too much dill, way too much basil, lemon juice, close it up. And it's like, you're like, okay, that sounds good.
Yeah.
And then you eat it and it's just like, what is going on here? How is this so good?
My mouth is watering a little thinking about it.
And the thing about I'm Mason, if you're listening, I'm not expecting a check for this, but the thing with Mason Hereford's recipes from Turkey and the Wolf's cookbook is that the sandwiches in there are all like that, where you bite into it and you're like, oh, this is good. Oh, wait. Another bite. Wait. And it just keeps revealing these different flavors.
That's cool.
And the combinations work. And it's just like, I don't know how he does it, but I love it. So that I know that's not really an old sandwich.
No, that's cool though. It doesn't have to be an old sandwich. Yeah. I mean, history is. You could have told me yesterday you had one. I'm like, honestly, I'm thinking about a pastrami I had in New York last week.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, no.
I'm looking at it's me in bed at night looking at the photo, just like.
I remember you. Yeah, will you remember me? Yeah.
She won't call me anymore, but it's because I ate her on challah.
Hey, next time, have you been to Barney Greengrass in New York?
No, I haven't.
It's the Sturgeon King.
Oh.
It's been around since like 1908. Current location 1922, Upper West Side.
Okay.
Still owned by this family. Like Gary Greengrass still is in it. He's always
cool.
He's in movies and stuff like. But the sturgeon sandwich there, I had never had sturgeon.
Okay.
Holy smokes, is it good? Next time you go there.
Okay, I'm in.
Seeded rye, mustard, sturgeon, buttery sturgeon. It's so good. Smoked. Oh,
that sounds delicious.
It's ridiculous.
It's in a good way. And work trips is always tough because it's like like 8 of the hours of the day are all trade show, and then you're like, all right, now we have one fun meal. Let's do. Now, does everybody in the group like the fun meal? Sometimes I will not care about their emotions, but like this one's for me.
Yeah.
Everything else will take.
Yeah, I was gonna say like this tour for Sandwiches of History, we're doing 8 cities in 2 weeks.
Yeah,
and it's very much like Washington, D.C., I was doing the show, we're doing the Q&A, and someone in the audience asked, hey, what sandwich have you eaten since you've been in D.C.? And it's like, we just flew in and like 2 hours before the show, went to our hotel, came directly to the venue, nothing. And we're flying out tomorrow morning, so I'm not going to have time. Fortunately enough, there's a Buffalo in Bergen delivered a breakfast sandwich to me, which was an onion bagel, pulled pork, pickled jalapenos, manchego cheese melted on it. I mean, I didn't eat the rest of the day, but it was, oh my God, it was amazing. But
that sounds amazing.
That's how it works here. It's like, it's rare that I actually get to eat a sandwich in the cities we're going to because we're such a tight turnaround.
I kept joking with all my sandwich shop owning friends in the area. I was like, look, you have your chance to do this. I have 2 windows if you'd like him to eat a sandwich. I don't know that he'll eat it necessarily, but I feel like there's a good chance if it shows up.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, the good thing is that, we're here tomorrow. This is going to air after the show.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah, but okay. But tomorrow we're here. It's a Sunday. It's a 3 p.m. show. I could eat after. I could eat before. And then we're not flying out till Monday until like 4, so we could definitely eat then. So
well, I'll have a couple of potential recommendations for you. I'll work out a little the
sandwich.
Map. Well, we were joking earlier because my friend Eric reached out and he was like, you got to find out Cincinnati versus St. Louis sandwiches. And I was like, I don't think that's a thing.
No,
personally.
I've never heard of
I'm just going to say St. Louis because I know we don't have a sandwich.
I've not heard of a Cincinnati sandwich.
The closest I can think of is the Coney from like Skyline Chili.
Yeah, okay.
Have you done the Cincinnati chili yet?
I've made Cincinnati chili at home, but I've not actually had it here.
I feel like did you not like it at home?
No, I did.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I feel like
it's not something I'm craving, but I thought it was very tasty.
But you're like, oh yeah, no, it's like one of those things. I think I joked with you earlier where I'm like, as a non-native, I adopted it like a kid. And I'm like, oh, that's cool, and it has a place.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not every day,
right?
Hopefully not for most people.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know.
Whatever it took. Well, we answered best sandwich. Can you think of a least favorite sandwich you've tried?
Oh, can I?
Do you have a list of them?
Well, I've got 2.
Is that what you have tattooed?
I've got 2 in particular. No tats, no ink on it yet, but I am scarred by it. So, so the first would be the oyster sandwich from the Up to Date Sandwich Book of 1909. Mm-hmm. For the record, I like oysters on the half shell. I really enjoy them. They're tasty.
Yeah.
This had me chop up raw oysters, mix it with olive oil, Worcestershire sauce, and put it between buttered bread with lettuce.
That feels like a textural
nightmare. Yep, there you go.
Oh, that's awesome.
Bingo.
Did we just become best friends?
Yeah, I think we did. And then the other one is the yeast sandwich.
The yeast sandwich?
Don't act surprised. We've all been there.
I mean, no, I'm just like...
I'm kidding. So so basically it's
how did he know?
It's a compressed yeast cake. It's fresh yeast,
right,
mixed with table sauce, which is Worcestershire sauce.
Okay.
Spread in between buttered bread. And it's like I haven't.
It sounds like worse Vegemite.
I've never eaten Spackle.
Okay.
But I'm pretty sure this is what the texture was. And what's crazy is I'm like, why would anyone make this recipe? So I looked into it, and it turns out in the 20s, the best thing since sliced bread, that happened with Wonder in I think 1928.
Okay.
So people were already starting to not bake bread at home as much, and then once sliced bread came on the scene, holy smokes.
Yeah.
So Fleischmann Brothers yeast sales are plummeting. We need to come up with something. They get with a marketing company in New York, and they come up with a Eat Fresh Yeast for Health campaign. And everyone buys off on it.
Love that.
This recipe appeared in, I think it was the 1936 cookbook, long after the fad had kind of died out. But yeah, it wasn't really, it didn't taste good. I imagine if I ate the whole thing, it would not be great for my biome.
Yeah, it feels like that's, yeah. Oh, that sounds awful.
So those 2 are top 2 worst sandwiches.
Yeah, those sound terrible.
Yeah.
I always like when there's something on there that I'm like, how's this going to work? I think we talked about this when we did the live together.
Yeah.
But the James Beard, well, I mean, once I saw James Beard on it, I knew it'd probably be good.
Yeah.
But the onion sandwich was one. That was one where I got fed the little thumbnail and I was like, all right, YouTube got me. I'm watching. And then I was like, as I watch you make it, I'm like, okay, this makes sense.
Yeah.
But I always like when I'm seeing something where I'm like, I don't know how this is going to go. Because I think I'd seen you do the oyster one too. Because as soon as you started describing it, I was like, oh yeah, I think I remember that nightmare as well.
Yeah.
And I remember, anytime I see it, I'm looking at it like, how's this going to actually turn out?
Oh,
and
yeah.
work, right?
Yeah. I had a sandwich that was a sandwich of our history that very much, I was like, this is going to be not great. It was something like sardines in maple syrup that you sauteed in butter, and then you added chili flakes, and then you added some other stuff. And I don't remember the exact recipe now, but I remember thinking, I don't know about all this. And then I tasted it, I'm like, this is one of the best things I've ever had. I need to have this again. And it's just, I love I love being surprised by the good stuff as well.
Of course, yeah.
The bad stuff always gets great engagement, but I actively try not to do that too often because then it becomes just that's what eat gross food guy.
Right.
And I don't want to do that. I want to explore all these different sandwich recipes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think you've done a great job of doing that.
Oh, thank you.
And keeping it fun and light like that too.
Thanks.
Gosh, I'm just like, yeah, because they eat, but like you said, we could just be adding bacon to everything.
Oh yeah, exactly.
And that would not have saved the sardines or the oyster sandwich.
It would not have saved either the oyster or the yeast.
Oysters, we do dollar oysters on Fridays here.
Ooh.
And I always want to love them.
Yeah.
I lived in Seattle for a little bit. And so there was like a very short time there where I'm like, okay, maybe I'll get over it here, but I just texturally can't do them. Cooks is fine. Like I love seafood.
Yeah, but
that textural thing.
We all have our own different palates and tastes and preferences. It's all good.
What's the expression? It's not for me, but it may be for you.
Yeah, exactly.
Excuse me.
Yeah,
I'm getting all choked up.
I know, me too.
Today.
Yeah.
Just one of those days.
Too many sandwiches.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Well, I'm looking forward to the sandwiches tomorrow. This is awesome.
It'll be good.
Well, okay, so by the time this airs, the tour is probably wrapping up. What's the next step? Like, what are you doing after this? This is obviously, I saw the ticket numbers here. I'm pretty happy about it.
Yeah, well, I'm going to do a musical. No, I'm just kidding.
That would be amazing.
No, we're not. No,
I saw your dance choreography earlier, Barry. I know.
Yeah, that's true. In the chips, yeah. No, I don't really, there's no necessarily a planned thing next. We're going to do some more shows, and we're probably going to do some shows. I'm going to look at my tour producer and see if we can say it. Overseas.
Overseas.
Oh, that's right. There we go. We got to be vague about it right now because
I'm learning the hand signals tonight.
I know, that's good. Yeah, so we're gonna do a couple.
Like he's doing it in a tumbler.
Yeah, exactly. Keep the rocks going. What does that mean? So we're gonna do probably a few shows overseas.
Cool.
And then I've got a concept for another type of tour next year that's more. Partnering with restaurants in cities to do pop-ups where we can serve sandwiches of history.
I think if you decide to come back to Cincinnati, I think I can help you
find
some great places to do that. We'd love to have you back.
All right. Well, I'd love to be back.
Yeah.
This place is amazing.
It's so cool.
Yeah.
Maybe I shouldn't repeat this, but it was adorable how many times you guys were like, we could live here.
Yeah.
After just coming to Jungle Gyms, I'm like, no, it's actually pretty cool and it's cheap to live here. I'm in. But
I don't know that I can take the winter because I'm a wuss.
Are you?
Yeah.
If you can't tell, I'm built for the winter.
Well, me too. I always joke that I'm built for plowing fields and getting in bar fights, and I don't do either. So, I don't know. I don't know if I could take the winter.
No, it's not as bad as you think, but at the same time, there are definitely those days where you're like, oh, it is as bad as you think. You know what I mean? Well, you're in paradise otherwise now. It's hard to trade off.
Yeah,
hey,
I know. But you've got all
International
this.
Beverage Wall.
I know. You got all this to keep you warm.
Oh, man. Barry, thank you so much for coming on and do the show.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, my gosh, my
thrilled.
pleasure. Anytime you're in the area, we'll do it. If you got anything online, we're always happy to have you virtually, whatever you want.
I'm in.
Sandwiches of History on all social platforms, right?
Yeah, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, and Reddit.
Awesome.
Yep.
And then sandwichesofhistory.com for tours and all that stuff, right?
For tours, information. You can sign up for my Substack, Sandwiches of History, which is a weekly recap email of both Sandwiches of History and In the Chips, because I figured, all in one go. And
I've been getting fed the In the Chips videos a ton lately.
Yeah, well, there you go.
It's working. I was going to say, I was like, I've seen a lot more of those in the last few weeks, too.
The algorithms are weird. That's why I publish on all those different platforms.
Smart.
Is to kind of try to mitigate the fact that like TikTok will show my video to 2 of the 315,000 followers I've got, right? So
I feel like I get all the action on TikTok. I feel like I'm always fighting against YouTube. YouTube is the platform that I feel like likes me the least.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I don't know why.
Interesting.
Sometimes it's great. It really depends. I think if I do more basic stuff, like if I'm just like, what if I smashed a banana? You know, or whatever. And then they're like, oh, yeah, 10 million views, right?
Yeah.
And then I'm like, let me educate you on why they cut the stems off pink pineapples. You know what I mean? They're like, shut up.
Yeah, exactly.
Is it pink for real? You know?
Yeah.
And then calling you names.
Yeah.
All the other platforms seem pretty friendly.
Although I did learn about something recently with YouTube uploads and metadata that has seemed to work to boost both my subscription number of people subscribing and my ad revenue.
Oh, that's cool.
Which I'll share with you off air.
Ooh, that's really good because that's an area I'm like still learning.
Okay, yeah.
It's just you've met the team mostly tonight. Lucky's the other half is gone, so I was like, not gone permanently.
He's just not here. Yeah.
I was just like, he just had a baby. I wasn't calling him in on a Saturday.
I get that.
All good though, man. Really looking forward to it. Well, congratulations on the tour. Come get a copy of the Sandwiches of History cookbook available here at Jungle Gyms.
I should probably sign a few.
Ooh, that would be lovely. I think we'll figure that out in the back end too.
All right.
I don't know anything about how money works works here in the building, except that I collect a paycheck. That's about the extent of my knowledge.
That's the most important thing to know.
I promised them at first. I was like, please don't give me more power than I need. Barry, it's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you
again.
so much. I appreciate it. It's been a lot of fun.
Oh, dude, what a great guest. And in the meantime, everyone, thank you. Thank you for coming to the show. If you came to the show, if you didn't come to the show, I'm thanking you slightly less.
Hang on, Mark. If you didn't come to the show, no, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, but seriously, hit them with the threats. They need.
We'll see you. We'll see you next time.
There we go. Yeah, right. I will not though because I'm barring entry. You had your chance while it was cheap. Now, anyway, everyone, thank you so much for tuning in. If you're listening on the audio only platforms, I appreciate you. I'd love for you to join us and look at us on YouTube. You can watch us laugh and look deeply into each other's eyes. And on that, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you out there in the aisles.
Cheers.
It feels ominous, right?
It does, but I don't know. You're smiling, so
right.
maybe not.